Hi everyone, my name is Valerie, and in this video I will talk about the Blade Runner directed by Ridley Scott in 1982. And in this video I want to answer the question of why did people imagine the future this way in 1982. So I would like to start with the visual style of the Blade Runner, and the first thing that actually shaped the visual world a bit is what scholars call the Japan economic boom or Japan panic. And basically in the late 1970s and the early 1980s, Japan had become a huge economic powerhouse, and it was like supplying technologies, and basically they were flooding American houses with the TVs, cars, and different types of electronics. And American factories were actually shutting down because they just couldn't compete with Japan. And people generally believed that Japan was going to take over the global economy, and filmmakers imagined the future looking Japanese, because at that time Japan felt like a country that is winning. And scholars like David Morley and Kevin Robbins later gave this a name, Techno-Orientalism, which is the way Western culture used Asian imagery to represent the future. The second thing that I want to talk about is environmental anxiety and the overall atmosphere of cyberpunk that is depicted in the Blade Runner, with the smoke, acid rain, and permanent darkness that was done deliberately to show the fear of pollution problems. And Americans were really watching their cities choked under industrial pollution at the time. And by the time the Blade Runner was been made, the idea that industrialization was slowly destroying the planet wasn't a fringe concern. It was something that ordinary people actually felt in their daily lives. However, I think that the deepest question that the movie raises here is not that much about the machines, but rather about humanity and the idea of the replicants, those bioengineered beings made by Tyrell Corporation. They are depicted more human than human themselves, and this is pretty interesting. And Anthony traces the origin of the replicant idea directly to Philip Dick's research into Nazi Germany, where Dick, disturbed by humans who show no empathy towards starving children. And I think here film isn't really asking about can machines think and about the power of machines, but rather can humans lose their humanity. In 82, the US and Soviet Union had been locked in this standoff for over 30 years, and I think Cold War influenced a lot of fears, which are like also depicted in the movie. And when the researchers surveyed children about how they saw the future, many said that they expected nuclear war, and they also mentioned overpopulation and the fear of machines taking their jobs as well. And that level of existential fear, the sense that humanity might actually destroy itself, is clearly represented in Blade Runner. Those fears didn't go away, and we're still fighting ourselves, being afraid of AI. Everything just changed their shape, but fears remain the same. Thank you.